and welcome back to my best team series, where I go over what I believe is statistically the best team for a certain Pokemon game, so that way it will give the easiest time for the player. As you can see from the playlist, I have done loads of games before, so now I'm going to be going over X and Y. I know I didn't do it in traditional order because, you know, I did Scarlet and Violet last time, but now we're going back into numerical order based on what game was released soonest to latest. So now we're going to be going over X and Y. Probably one of the strangest games because that game did have quite a few, let's just say, bugs. Yeah. But it does have some challenges, so I feel like making the best team for this game could be quite fun. I'll be going over a full team of 6, and they're going to go over what I believe is the best team to use and give you the easiest time when playing the game. Because some people may not know what Pokemon to have if they want to have the easiest time possible when playing a Pokemon game. So that's why I'm doing this. I'll be going over where to find these Pokemon, what movesets to give them, where to find the TMs necessary to teach the moves, all sorts. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, if you like this best team, if you like X and Y, and if you have any video suggestions for the future, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's get into the video! Okay, as always, we need a starter Pokemon. And the starter Pokemon from this game are Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie. Spoiler alert, it ain't Chespin. Because, I'm not gonna lie, it is a hot pile of doo-doo. I'm sorry, Chespin fans, it's just true. Like most grass-type Pokemon, usually are pretty bad unless they have some sort of OP secondary typing. And, so that means we're down to 2 starter Pokemon. And obviously, we all know which one to pick out of the 2. So, the starter Pokemon that I'm going to suggest to you is Greninja. Greninja is easily the best starter to pick out of the 3. Like I said, Chespin ain't going to cut it because early game doesn't really see much gym action, let alone Elite Four, Champion, and Evil Team. So that means it's going straight out the window because a lot of trainers love to use Fire, Poison, and Flying types. Fennekin is the second best option, but it does not shine as well as Greninja because Greninja is very versatile. It is very powerful, and we definitely need a surfing Pokemon. And why not go for the earliest possible option? Plus, Greninja's high speed and special attack is going to dominate a lot of opponents very quickly. And to be honest with you, I think that this is definitely the starter you need to pick up. Because it's OP as hell, super quick, and can counter a lot of important trainers in this game. Yes, it may not have the best defenses, but the high speed and attack stats are going to counter that. Because let's be honest, what's going to outspeed a Greninja? Okay, now to go over Greninja's moveset. And the moveset I gave Greninja is Surf, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, and Extra Sensory. You get the Surf HM after you beat the Shalor City Gym and you go to the next area, and then your rival will bump into you and give you the HM. Dark Pulse you get on Route 16, but you are going to have Waterfall. So until you get it, just use a Heart Scale to use Night Slash. Night Slash can be very useful until you get Dark Pulse. Then there's Ice Beam, which you get after you beat the 8th Gym Leader, and that's a good coverage against Grass types, and it'll also help out in case you fight any Dragon-type Pokemon. An Extra Sensory you get by level up, and it's very good coverage against fighting types. With this moveset, Greninja is good against Grant Zamora, Karina's team if you teach it Aegislash beforehand, but I wouldn't recommend it if it's a Greninja. If it's a Frogadier, have at it. Olympia's team, Shauna's Delphox, Tierno's team except for Crawdaunt, Trevor's Aerodactyl, Serena's Meowstic, Altaria and Chestnut. Team Flare's Fire types, Poison types and Flying types. Arliana's Druddigon, Mabel's Houndoom, Zoroastic's Crobat, Lysander's team except for Gyarados, Mulver's team, Drazna's team, and Diantha's team except for Gardevoir. Now it may not have loads and loads of type advantages, but it can take on very key roles. Not to mention it can take on a lot of people's full teams. So that kind of shows how OP this thing is. Since the Sandaloon City gym uses Bug-type Pokemon, I would recommend capturing a Bumblebee and use the in-game trade to get a Farfetch, so that way you can take care of that gym. Or just capture a regular old Flying type, level it up to the Lens of Flying type move, then just take out the gym. Then stick it in the box, and don't think twice about it. For the second member, we actually have yet another starter Pokemon. Because if you didn't know, when you beat the first gym and go to Lumio City, you can pick up a Kanto starter. So, I am definitely going to be using one of the Kanto starters. And unfortunately, it's not going to be Charizard. As much as I love using Charizard, it's not as good as this member that I'm picking right now. So, the second member of the team is Venusaur. Venusaur is OP in this game. Like, honestly, it is so broken, it's unbelievable. Like I said, you pick up a Kanto starter when you get to Lumio City, and then you get to pick up your Bulbasaur. And Bulbasaur is going to be very good in the game. Don't forget that you also get its Mega Stone when it eventually goes into Venusaur. So that's a free Mega Evolution right there. And to be honest with you, it's going to be the main Mega Evolution that we use. I threw Venusaur in here because we need something to take on Water types as well as Ground types. As well as Fairy types. Because of the fact that Fairy types dominated and originated in this game. So Poison types are definitely going to be necessary. For Venusaur's moveset, it's actually quite simple. We're going to be going with Energy Ball, Sludge Bomb, Earthquake, and a toss-up between Growth or Leech Seed. Energy Ball can be found at Route 20 just before you get to the Victory Road. You are going to need to do the Strength and Cut puzzle, but until you get Energy Ball, use Pestle Blizzard until you get it, because it does the same amount of damage and has the same accuracy. It's just a physical attack, so it won't do as much damage as Energy Ball, but it's still a good move to have. Sludge Bomb you get on Route 19, Earthquake you get at Route 22, but you are going to need the Strength puzzle, so wait until you get both Waterfall and Strength, because you're going to need to climb down the waterfall as well. And either Growth or Leech Seed can actually both be learnt by level up. It all depends on which playstyle you prefer. Either maxing out your attack and special attack, or crippling your opponent's HP to regain an eighth of your own health. It all depends on which style you prefer. With this moveset, Venusaur is good against Grant's Tyrant if you teach it Bulldoze. Ramos is Jumpluff and Go-Go if you teach it Venoshock. Clement's Magneton and Heliolisk if you teach it Bulldoze. Valerie's team, Tieno's Crawdaunt, Trevor's Raichu and Florges. Serena's Chestnut and Vaporeon. Team Flair's Fire types. Celosia's team, Bryony's Bishop, Mabel's Houndoom, Lysander's Mega Gyarados, Wickstrom's team, Seabold's team, Malva's team, but I wouldn't recommend it, and Diantha's Aurorus, Gorgeist, Tyrantrum, and Gardevoir. As you can see, Venusaur can take this game apart. Like, the Greninja and Venusaur together can wreck most of the game. For the third member, I actually went with what I believe is probably the most famous Pokemon to come out of Gen 6. Because this thing went to Ubers super quickly. If you can guess where I'm going with this, my third member is Aegislash. Not only does this Pokemon have an offensive and defensive typing combination, it has an offensive and defensive form. Literally, one King Shield, it has impressive defense and special defense. As soon as you attack, it has amazing attack and special attack stats. Its speed doesn't get much better, nor does its HP, but this thing is a Swiss Army knife. It can be whatever you want and more. This is by far the strongest Pokemon to come out of Gen 6, if you ask me. Basically, on the route near Parfum Palace, you can pick up a Honedge. and as soon as you pick one up, it's gonna wreck the entire game. This thing is broken as hell. And you may be wondering, what moveset do we give a broken Pokemon? Well, a broken one if you really think about it. So, the moveset we're going to be giving Aegislash is Iron Head, Shadow Claw, King Shield, and Sacred Sword. Iron Head can be learnt while it's still a Doublade. So keep it as a Doublade until it learns Iron Head, then give it a Dusk Stone, and then it'll become Aegislash. Shadow Claw can be found at Glittering Cave, but if you want to teach a Shadow Ball, you can. I personally think Shadow Claw is better because it can be found earlier, and it also has a chance of getting critical hits quite a lot. So I personally would go with Shadow Claw, but Shadow Ball is there as an option as well. Then with King Shield and Sacred Sword, both of those moves can be learnt at that move reminder. So bring in a few Heart Scales with you, and then teach it King Shield and Sacred Sword. With this moveset, Aegislash is good against Karina's team if you teach it Aerial Ace, Ramos' team, Valerie's team, Olympia's team, Wulfric's team, Sean Anna's Delcatty, Tieno's Crawdaunt, Trevor's Florges and Aerodactyl, Serena's Meowstic and Absol, Team Flare's Dark types, Aliana's Mightyena, Bryony's team, Mabel's team, Lysander's Pyroar and Mega Gyarados, Wickstrom's Probopass and Aegislash, Seabold's Barbaracle, Malva's Pyroar and Chandelure, and Diantha's Tyrantrum, Aurorus, Gourgeist and Gardevoir. Honestly, these three Pokemon alone can sweep the majority of the game. And Aegislash can honestly sweep probably the entire game by itself if he really wanted to. Because this Pokemon is OP as hell. Alright, for the next member, we're going to need an electric type Pokemon. Because we need something to take care of both water types and flying types should they occur. And I personally think I found the best electric type possible in the game. And I think it's pretty underrated if you ask me. So, the electric type I'm going to use is Heliolisk. Heliolisk can be found as a Helioptile when you go on the Rhyhorn on your way to Glittering Cave. And it is very usable. Plus, you can evolve it with a Sunstone. Never understood why they made it a Sunstone. One thing I am going to say about Helioptile, keep it Helioptile until level 40. That is when it learns one of the moves that I'm going to teach it. So wait until it's level 40, teach it the move that it learns at level 40, give it the Sunstone, and you're fine. For Heliolisk's moveset, I'm going with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Focus Blast, and Surf. Thunderbolt can be learnt by TM. You get the TM from Clement after you beat him in the gym battle. Volt Switch is the move that you learn at level 40. That way, in case a Pokemon is about to take you out, or you want to get in a nice switch and do some damage at the same time, you can just switch on Volt Switch, do some damage, switch it out. Focus Blast is found at the Anastar Pokemart, and we've already gone over where we can find Surf. With this moveset, Heliolisk is good against Karina's Hawlucha, Olympia's Sigilif and Slowking, Tieno's Crawdaunt and Talonflame, Trevor's Aerodactyl, Serena's Vaporeon, Team Flare's Flying types and Dark types, Aliana's Mightyena, Bryony's Bishop, Mabel's team, Zoroastic's Crobat, Lysander's Haunchcrow, Pyroar and Gyarados, Wickstrom's Probopass, Seabold's team, Malva's team, and Diantha's Hawlucha, Tyrantrum and Aurorus. May not do as much as the other three members, but it can still be very, very useful. Alright, for the next member, we're going to need a flying type Pokemon. We aren't just going to be able to walk around everywhere. And this flying type is probably the hardest to find, but it is probably the strongest flying type in the entire game. That being Aerodactyl. Basically, the town before you get to the Solar Shitty Gym, there's this trainer in that town that gives you the TM for Rock Smash. All you need to do is teach it to one of your Pokemon, and after you kick Team Flare out of the Glittering Cave, you can exit and go back in. Then you can start Rock Smashing in the rocks until you find the Old Amber. Once you find the Old Amber, restore it, and you get Aerodactyl. And in the same Fossil or Restoration Center, you can pick up Aerodactyl's Mega Stone. So that way, when you get the Mega Ring, you have two very powerful Mega Evolutions. Venusaur and Aerodactyl. And both of those Pokemon can do very well. Yes, Aerodactyl is going to be the hardest to find out of all of them, but it is still extremely powerful. The stats don't lie, and neither does the typing. For Aerodactyl's moveset, I decided to go with Rock Slide, Fly, Iron Head, and Earthquake. The Rock Slide TM you get at Kuraway Town. The Fly HM you get in Coumarine City after you talk to Diantha. Iron Head you get from the Move Tutor. So basically just give it a heart scale, you've got Iron Head, and we've already gone over where to find Earthquake. With this moveset, Aerodactyl is good against Grant's team if you teach it Bulldoze, Karina's team, Ramos's team, Clement's team, Wolfric's team, Shauna's Delphox, Tiano's Rose Raid and Talonflame, Trevor's team, Serena's Altaria and Chestnut, Team Flair's Poison types and Flying types, Salosia's team, Bryony's team, Mabel's team, Zorothic's Crobat, Lysander's team except for Gyarados, Wickstrom's team except Scizor, Mulver's team, and Diantha's team. Now can you see why I believe that Aerodactyl is the strongest flying type in the game? Alright, for the last member of the team, we need a very powerful Pokemon. And I also needed something to take on Poison types, as well as Electric types. So I decided to throw in a Ground-type Pokemon. And I wanted to make sure I had the strongest Ground-type Pokemon possible. And I think I've made the correct decision on picking Garchomp. Garchomp can be found in the Wasteland just before you get to Lumio City the second time. And once you catch it, all you need to do is level it up once and you've got a Gabite. Then you need to catch it up for the rest of your team and you've got an amazing powerhouse. Literally, you can pick this thing up before you even challenge the 4th gym. So you can literally catch it, evolve it, catch it up to the rest of your party, and it's going to be one powerhouse of a Pokemon. And Garchomp is probably one of the strongest Pokemon to use in any playthrough. You cannot go wrong with using a Garchomp. You may be asking yourself why I chose Garchomp rather than a Flygon. Basically, I personally think that Garchomp's stat spread is a little bit better than Flygon's. Plus, as soon as you catch it, you can evolve it into Gabite. Like, one level, it's a Gabite. But you need to get Trapinch to level 35 in order to get to Vibrava. That's a bit of a challenge. I would say you're better off picking a Gibble up and then going with the Garchomp route. For Garchomp's moveset, I decided to go with Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Flamethrower, and Crunch. Dragon Claw it learns by level up. We've already discussed where to get Earthquake, but until it learns Earthquake, you can either teach it Dig or Bulldoze. Flamethrower you get at the Anastar City Pokemon Center. Basically, there's going to be this ghosty emo type girl who gives you a random TM, but you cannot guarantee Flamethrower. You have to talk to her at different points in time in different days. So you have to make sure that you talk to her at a different time of day each day until you get Flamethrower. And Crunch, it learns as soon as it evolves into Garchomp. With this moveset, Garchomp is good against Ramos's team if you teach it Aerial Ace, Clement's whole team if you teach it Rock Tomb for the Emolga, Valerie's Mawile, Olympia's team, Shauna's Goodra and Delphox, Trevor's Raichu, Serena's Meowstic, Altaria and Chestnut, Team Flair's Fire types and Poison types, Aliana's Druddigon, Salosia's team, Bryony's Bishop, Mabel's team, Lysander's Pyroar, Wickstrom's team, Drasna's team, Mulver's team, and Diantha's Tyrantrum, Aurorus, Gourgeist, and Goodra. As you can see, this whole team can dominate 99% of the game, and can do it with very little effort. And that is why I believe that this is the best team for X and Y. And now then guys, hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, if you agree with my best team, if you would swap and change some of the Pokemon or movesets around, and if you have any video suggestions for the future, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Also guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new because of my subscriber goal. Once I hit 400 subscribers, I will do 4 crazy dares that you guys suggest. I'll put all the dares that you suggest either in the comment section or on my Instagram. Then I'll randomize it and pick 4 of the crazy dares that it lands on, and I am not going to back out of them. So be sure to subscribe if you like my content and if you just like me in general. Honestly, it helps me out a lot if you do subscribe. Because, like I said in my last video, a lot of people who aren't subscribed to my channel watch my content. So please, if you like what I do, subscribe. It goes a long way. Did you enjoy the video as much as I did making it? If you did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. It's been Inferno today. Okay, that's all from me, so until the next time, this is Infernate, signing off. Bye!